senso di protezione, talvolta senso di potere, talvolta la ricchezza, quel che volete, ma ha sempre avuto un'intenzione. Così un oggetto.
The magic lantern is created by the fact that in the architect's imagination, a newspaper is something that works a great deal during the night and that must, therefore, transmit its visibility externally. Architect Renzo Piano designs visions of air, light and sky. The layer of glass that envelops the new offices of the Sole 24 Ore historical and affirmed Confindustria, the Italian Manufacturers Association economic daily, in fact produces a collective space, open to the street and the context surrounding it. The construction is no longer a container bounded by walls, but the theatre of interrelations between man and the environment. At night, the building shows all its hidden sides. It's a luminous structure that opens dimensions of freedom. It's a place where much communication takes place and where the passage of information is undoubtedly fundamental. We've tried to use as many transparent spaces as possible. The building is like a machine that shows its gears but also evokes composite and changeable landscapes. With light penetrating the outer layer, the building becomes an entity with which to interact. Perception becomes vibrant and mobile, instead of stable, immobile and monotonous. Different floors and purposes of the built-in and suspended lighting correspond to the triple height of the entrance. Their dimensions seem variable, restoring depth and richness. Susumu Shingu's mobile sculpture also contributes to this multiplicity of space and forms, accompanying the breath of nature and the wind in continuous contact with the light.
Si sente, attraverso la mia scultura,
You'll feel that this movement of air exists through my sculpture.
Per occuparsi spazio,
Not an object for occupying space, but something light to make this space live.
Vivere questo spazio.
Susumu Shingu, sculptor of the air between ancient and modern, between the spirit of man and the lightness of nature, gives form to the air and to the light. His delicate sculptures are a form of architecture of the soul.
C'è questa certa simpatia tra i spettatori.
There's a certain empathy between spectators and sculpture.
Usiamo lo stesso tempo.
We consume the same time and breathe the same air, men and sculpture together, as well as the light.
Insieme, anche la luce, chi lavora.
Whoever works every day can also enjoy this echo of the work in his mind.
Alla mente.
Inside, outside. Who work there look out toward a gentle landscape, soft shapes made of air and greenery. The design shows its completeness in the hill constructed to contain the services and give perspective to the view of those who live in the building. You see all this glass construction from outside, but once inside it opens onto a garden. We have 450 parking places, an auditorium, TV studios, and all the technological plant. All this space has been dug out from inside under the hill. The large glass hill hides the canteen where journalists, printers, and technicians eat and relate to each other at any time of the day. Here, the lighting technology design has constructed a pleasant oasis for meeting and exchanging and comparing things. Writing, producing content and information every day for millions of people. Transparency, concentration, and comfort. We very much like the idea of transparency and light. The problem is that inside the offices, we need to work with computers, so that often the light, and above all too much light, can create problems. People also work in the offices at night. The rhythm is elevated, the atmosphere sometimes frenetic. The main requisite in the ample spaces conceived without internal divisions was to supply 200 lux of average general light and 500 lux of average light over the worktops. The direct built-in low-energy light is positioned with reduced interdistance to guarantee the intersection of the bands of light above the average height of the individual, in this way avoiding cones of shadow. Direct emission, to respond to precise operative needs, was integrated with innovative diffused reflection apparatuses.
We
worked a lot on the interior lighting. In the editorial office, we've always given this aspect a great deal of attention and worked hard to achieve reflected lighting wherever possible, developing with iGuzzini and Renzo Piano an ad hoc lighting body to be able to best exploit what, according to us, were the advantages of reflected rather than direct light. The formal design of the I-24 apparatuses recalls the intermedial and global dimension of economic information, consisting of complex, extended, and high performance. The perimeter application of the I-24 constructs the style and the role of the building at night. The light opens up the context, involves the landscape, and traces lines in space. Here, the I-24 apparatus consists of two paired modules, each of which has optical asymmetry to optimize useful flow, avoiding parasitic light. In this case, the I-24 were created with variable lengths, aimed at obtaining maximum integration with the environmental project. Non-uniform lighting on the ceiling scans the spaces, offering a reassuring and relaxing rhythm and passage. The walls of the new Sole 24 Ore offices become membranes, instead of remaining stable, immobile and deaf to any kind of stimulus. They lose weight, gain in lightness and develop depth. While the building shines, it is traversed by the landscape, illuminating it with effects and movements. The lantern is magic because it speaks for itself while telling its story, narrating a world in continuous change.